Errol the True Spence Jr., 28-0, undefeated, 22 knockouts. Everybody knows that Errol the True Spence, his numbers carries his opponents, period. Terrence Crawford is 38-0 with 29 knockouts, undefeated. Back to the books, back to the numbers. Errol the True Spence, he carries his opponents when it comes to pay-per-view numbers. When he fought Dennis Ugas, that fight did pretty well. It ranged at 240,000 to approximately 500K as far as pay-per-view. Now, when he fought Danny Garcia, that pay-per-view range was about 250K to upwards over 300,000. Sean Porter was 350K plus, give or take. Mikey Garcia was also 300,000, give or take. Also, keep this in mind, Talk Nation, stand up as your boy, smash that like button. Dallas Cowboys Stadium, when they hold an Errol Spence fight, the capacity is 16,000 in the crowds. That's 16,000 in the seats, and they selling out. So you just couple that with the figures from the pay-per-view buys. And those pay-per-view buys are averaging about $74.99, $79.99. So give or take, those numbers is bringing in about $18 to $19 million. Phenomenal numbers for Errol Spence. Now the gates are open. The chains is off the fence. You know what I mean? The locks are broken. People can now be in the stands. Some of Terrence Crawford's fights, unfortunately, it happened during COVID, so there was no pay-per-view. Those fights were streamed. You can't hold that against Terrence Crawford. But let's be real and let's be fair. The fights that he did have and the fights that were pay-per-view, those numbers was low compared to Errol the True Spence. The gate, it doesn't matter. The venues in Vegas, in Brooklyn, on planet Mars. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It can be in another galaxy, and the gate is going to sell out. The house is going to be packed. We know this already. The stars will be out like a clear night looking up at the night sky. The stars is going to be out. Talk like you stand with your boy, smash that like button. But the pay-per-view numbers are going to be fantastic. If you look at the average and the numbers of what Errol the True Spence does, and then you can look at the average of what Bud does, even though those numbers are lower than Spence. Let's just get that out the way. You're looking at an average at the lowest, at the base, as far as the pay-per-view numbers. You're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of, let's just say at the lowest, 300,000. That's at the lowest. That's at the lowest. There's no way that pay-per-view is going to do lower than 300K. Now, let's talk about the upscale. Now, if the lowest is going to be 300,000, I'm saying this fight could possibly do over $1 million. I'm going to go out and say it. I'm going to go on record and say it, because this isn't going to be like Floyd and Pacquiao. Although that fight did do well, but as far as the action of the fight, the fanfare, it was a bit lackluster. It's not going to take Spence and Bud that long to get into the ring, despite what we fans and the media like to bolster and think. It's not going to take that long. But the numbers are not going to be Manny Pacquiao and Floyd numbers, but the numbers are still going to do well. And you know what? Let's just keep it 100, because sometimes strange things happen. And given the buildup of this fight, the expectations that fans have on both of their competitive champions, whether you're a Spence fan or a Bud fan, or if you're a fan of the sport, you just want to see a good scrap, and you respect both fighters. Most importantly, you respect both fighters' skill sets, and you know what they bring to the table, and you know how that fight is going to go down. You know that fight is going to be super explosive. You know that fight is going to be blockbuster. And I ain't talking about the video. Shout out to Netflix. That fight is going to do huge numbers. Talk Nation, stand up with your boy, smash that like button. That fight is going to do huge numbers. The pay scale for both of these fantastic competitors, although Bud is getting the short end of the financial stick, he's also going to walk away with bang. He's going to walk away with bang. If your Dennis Ugas walked away from the fight when he fought Spence with roughly $5 million, and I believe the guaranteed purse for Errol, I think it was like $2.5 million. And Dennis Ugas, his guarantee price I think was like 1.5 or something like that. And on the back end, after everything was all said and done, you know what I mean, Errol got like an additional, I think like 4 or 5 million or something like that. And Dennis Ugas got an additional I think like 3 million or something like that. But give or take, Ugas walked away from that fight well compensated. Well compensated. And although Ugas is a fantastic competitor, I mean, let's just keep it honest, man. When he fought Sean Porter, that pretty much put Ugas in the eyes of all the fans. Before that, people really didn't know who Dennis Ugas was. And then once he fought Sean Porter and what he did against Sean Porter, I say it to this day, arguably he beat Sean Porter. He did enough in that fight to upset Showtime Sean Porter. He did enough. He actually gave the boxing world the blueprint to beat Manny Pacquiao. That's what you think they put Ugas in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. When Errol Spence had the eye injury and they had to find somebody to fill that void, Ugas was the perfect person to fight Manny Pacquiao. Because if you look at Sean Porter, busy, active, you know what I'm saying, good punch output, very energetic in the ring, moves around a lot, quick feet, you know what I mean, very disruptive, very hard to, you know what I mean, to pinpoint, very hard to beat, you know what I mean. Who is good, or who put down the blueprint for that? Who gave Sean Porter problems? Ugas. So when they put Ugas in the ring with Manny Pacquiao, the quote-unquote people behind the scenes, they knew what they was doing. And when I seen the play, I told y'all a long time ago, that shit was a setup. It ain't no, that shit ain't happened by mistake that they put Ugas in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Shout out to the Senator of the Philippines, Hall of Famer. Let's put some respect on Pac name. You know what I'm saying? One of the most phenomenal, fantastic competitors in boxing history. Not only is a fantastic and phenomenal and super explosive boxing talent, but just as a human being. You know what I'm saying? Phenomenal family man. Phenomenal senator. Loves people. You know what I'm saying? Literally goes into his own pocket and goes into the streets and breaks, you know what I'm saying, and breaks his people off with a couple of hours so they can eat, so they can live. You know what I'm saying? No better human being on this planet than Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Phenomenal competitor. So when they did Manny Pacquiao like that, man, I was like, damn, man, that was, you know what I mean? That was kind of took that L and he kept it moving. And that wasn't the first time. When he fought Tim Bradley, man, same thing. You know what I mean? When he fought Jeff Horn, same thing. You know what I mean? Got robbed, should have won, but it's okay. Manny Pacquiao kept it moving. And just imagine the numbers for Pacquiao and Spence if that fight would have happened. That fight would have did the numbers that Mayweather and Pacquiao was supposed to do if Manny Pacquiao would have fought Errol the True Spence Jr. If Terrence Bud Crawford would have had the opportunity to fight Manny Pacquiao, that fight was supposed to go down in Dubai, man. But, you know what I mean, the athletic minister over there, you know what I mean, Dubai was like, nope, no, y'all ain't bringing that crap over here. Keep that crap over there. You invented it, y'all keep it. So they squashed that, and the talks were supposed to kind of gear back up. But that fight and the talks never got back off the ground. Yes, Errol Spence is a bigger pay-per-view star than Terrence Bud Crawford. But the numbers that Errol the True Spence does in all his previous fights, Errol has carried all of his opponents. And there is no difference with Terrence Bud Crawford. He is that type of pay-per-view star. That is why this fight is so dangerous. That is why they're trying to financially frustrate Terrence Bud Crawford, because they know that if he knocks off Errol Spence, he's knocking off one of the breadwinners at the PBC and for TMT, aka Floyd Money Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions. So they're trying to financially frustrate, do whatever they can do, you know what I mean, to kind of put the brakes on things a little bit, maybe try to frustrate, you know what I mean, Crawford and company. But at the end of the day, these guys have to go at it because there can only be one on some Highlander type ish. You know what I mean? And what Errol Spence needs, Terrence Bud Crawford has. That WBO strap is the last piece of the undisputed puzzle. But it's going to be very difficult for that puzzle to get solved, and that puzzle is Terrence Bud Crawford. Can Errol the True Spence go into that fight win that fight. Matter of fact, he's going to have to take that fight.
I don't even know what to say, bro.
Because sometimes fighters get beat and sometimes fighters win. Let me break it down real quick before we get up out of here. Errol the True Spence, he generally beats his opponents, breaks him down to the body, destroys him with the jab, like he did Danny Garcia. Shout out to Danny Garcia, shout out to Philly. You dig what I'm saying? And sometimes fighters win, like Usyk. Doesn't have that devastating power, but he does enough. He's busy enough. He tags his opponents enough to walk away with the W. In this fight between Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol the True Spence, Errol the True Spence is going to have to beat Terrence Bud Crawford. And Terrence Bud Crawford is going to have to win against Errol the True Spence. Talk Nation, stand up as your boy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Put your thoughts in the comments. Put your hearts in the comments. Don't put your soul. That's God's property. Talk Nation, stand up as your boy. Peace. I'm out.
It's closer than it's ever been. So, if we don't have it now, it's never going to happen. So, it's way closer than what it used to be. So, I think it's definitely